If you have 15 minutes, then you have enough time to make a healthy breakfast. Here, I'm gonna show you how to make 2 delicious 3-ingredient breakfast combinations. Let's get started. First up, we have a savory egg and mushroom puff pastry roll. Basically, we are gonna take a piece of store-bought puff pastry and we're gonna stuff it with scrambled eggs and sauteed mushrooms. We're gonna roll it up into a log, cut that log into slices, and then bake those slices until they're delicious and golden brown. And first things first, I'm gonna preheat my oven to 400 degrees. As that oven preheats, we're gonna slice our mushrooms. And I just gave them a quick wash. Even these little stems, if they fall off, you can cut them up and use them. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a rough chop here will do the trick. And of course we're using mushrooms here, but you can use whatever veggie you want, whatever veggie you have on hand. Really, whatever you're in the mood for, just getting a veggie in is important. Okay, these mushrooms go back into my bowl here. Next up, you need a mixing bowl, and we're gonna crack our eggs into this bowl and give them a good whisk. I need 6 eggs. So when it comes to making a healthy breakfast, there's a few things that I think of. 1, can I get a fruit or veggie in? And 2, is there gonna be something to this meal that makes it satisfying? And eggs, which is our protein source, is that satisfaction piece to this meal. Our prep portion is set. So now we're gonna head over to the stove, cook these guys up, and then we'll come back here and stuff our puff pastry roll. All right, let's get cooking. I'm gonna turn my stove on here to medium-high heat with my skillet. I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of olive oil to the pan here. We'll give that just a few minutes to heat up. Okay, now that that's nice and warm, in go our mushrooms. And we're gonna stir these every so often and let them saute for about 5 minutes. Okay, those mushrooms have been sauteing now for about 5 minutes. They're getting that nice caramelization, that brown color that we love to see. And now I'm gonna turn the heat off and put these mushrooms back in my bowl so we can cook the eggs in the same pan. And I'm gonna add back in just a touch of oil. You can also use some nonstick cooking spray. Give that a sec to heat up. And in go our eggs. Now this goes pretty quick, so we'll pour them in, give it a good couple of stirs, and then we're basically done. And I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt and pepper here. And there we are. All right, so I'm gonna kill the heat here and bring all this stuff over to the counter and we can build our puff pastry roll. All right, so our eggs are done, our mushrooms are done, and the last ingredient we need is our puff pastry roll. We will carefully open it up. We're gonna roll it out just a little bit, just to get a little extra surface area out of this. It's not much bigger than what the sheet comes in. All right, and then before we stuff it, we'll just pick it up again and make sure it's not sticking to our cutting board here. Evenly just distribute your mushrooms here. And next up are our eggs. Now the puff pastry sheet really has enough, yumminess and butter in there that it feels rich and creamy as is, but of course you could always add some cheese in here if you wanted to. From here, starting at our short end, we're gonna start rolling this up. And it's okay if some stuff falls out of the end. We can shove it back in there. Now from here, it's easiest with like a serrated knife. So I'm gonna use my bread knife here. I like to do little notches in the pastry just to help make it even here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, perfect. And then we're just gonna carefully slice. Honestly, it smells so good already. It's gonna be a delicious breakfast. And look at that already. All right, so I'm gonna grab my baking sheet. And now we can lay these guys on our baking sheet. And we can do it with the cut side facing up. Okay, and now these are ready to go into my preheated oven. They're gonna cook for 14 to 16 minutes, and as they cook, we're gonna prep our second 3-ingredient breakfast. Now I'm gonna make something on the sweeter side, which is our creamy goat's cheese and strawberry waffle sandwiches, which I can't wait to show you how to make. So frozen waffles may not seem like much, but when you stuff them full of this sweet and savory mix of jam and goat cheese, you really take them to a new level. They're delicious. And what I have here are some high protein frozen waffles. They're still straight out of the freezer, no need to thaw them. What I have here, some strawberry jam. You can go with any jam flavor you'd like. And then just a log of goat's cheese. And we're basically going to do a little assembly line here because we're gonna make 4 servings. So we can lie out our waffles here. I'm gonna pop my jam jar open here. And we're gonna add about a tablespoon of jam to one side of each waffle. Now we can just take the back of a spoon and spread that around. And now I'm gonna take my goat's cheese log here. So we're gonna add 1 ounce of goat's cheese to each waffle as well. This 1 ounce here adds 5 extra grams of protein to this meal, so you get even more satisfaction. And now we top with the other waffle half. All right, now that these waffle sandwiches are assembled, I'm just gonna scoot them over here, and then I'm going to get 4 squares of tin foil ready. We are just gonna wrap these waffle sandwiches up, and you can pop this whole thing right in your freezer, leave it in there until you're ready to eat. So the timer for the pastry rolls just went off, so I'm gonna bring those over here, let them cool down, and then we'll bump the oven temperature down to 350, and then pop one of our waffle sandwiches in there for about 8 to 10 minutes. Well, I was gonna wait for the waffle to be done to dig into these, but they smell so good. I'm just gonna get started now. And this one on top is like the perfect little puff pastry roll. And then 2 to a serving. This is a great breakfast. All right, I'm digging in. So good. Honestly, I'm already thinking of all the different takes I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna do spinach and chicken sausage and zucchini and eggs, and oh my gosh, it's just so good. Timer just went off for the waffle, so let me go grab that. Ooh, this I'm also excited for. I'm gonna carefully peel back this tin foil here. Oh my gosh, it smells unbelievable. Look at that ooey gooey cheese and the jam and the nice toasted waffle. All right, I have to take a bite of this, obviously, to make sure it tastes as delicious as it looks and smells. Oh, that creamy goat's cheese with that sweet strawberry jam. Why didn't I think of this before? All right, so I'm gonna save the rest of my puff pastry rolls for later in the week. I'm just gonna pop them in a meal prep container, put them in the fridge, and then when I go to reheat them, put them on a plate like this and just pop them in the microwave for 30 seconds to a minute until they're steaming and hot, and then they are ready to eat. And you just saw how easy it was for our waffles. All we need to do is pull 1 or more out of the freezer, pop it in our toaster oven, and in 10 minutes, breakfast is ready. As you can see, these breakfasts are anything but boring, and starting your morning with either of them is exactly what you need to tackle the day ahead. You can get these plus other delicious 3-ingredient breakfasts on eatingwell.com. If you make either of them, be sure to take a photo and add it to Instagram and tag me. Thanks so much for watching, happy cooking, and I'll see you guys next time on Prep School.